Who is Commander Loose Screws?
Who is Commander Loose Screws? That's a very good question.
Where is the galaxy?
59 months ago.
I hope he wears a hat.
Okay, I see the Loose Screws podcast now.
I hear he's 7 feet tall.
Wow. Let the legend begin. What else have you heard about him?
He has hair so long on his legs it can be braided 3 times.
What else have you heard about him?
This is Commander Loose Screws podcast we're talking about, right?
Yes.
No. There's an actual Commander Loose Screws as well, but he's been inactive for 60 months almost.
Okay, that one wasn't
Loose. He was trouble.
That's not the one I was talking about then.
Anyway, hey everyone, it's the Loose Screws podcast. I'm Commander J Antrax, and here we are talking about all that good stuff that you know that we love to talk about and you love to listen to. And
cheese.
It's the what?
Cheese.
Yeah,
that's what we like to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah. Damn right.
Sure.
It's the 12th of December. In what year?
1985.
It's 1983. And I am
even agree on a fake year.
The 3308.
Okay, there he is. He's eating. So Teflon's got a face full of birthday cake, but he's here. And Hate's also here. Say hi.
Greetings and salutations.
There it is. Dubs, it showed up. Apparently something to do with truck tires.
Or is that Data?
No. I'm here because the truck tires didn't happen.
Yeah, well, that's to do with truck tires, isn't it?
I guess. Sure. You can call
it
that.
Truck tires.
The man of the hour, the man with the hat. It's Commander Chig.
Hi.
Swole Commander Chig.
Swole Commander Chig. Have you heard how much he can curl? I'm not going to say. I'm just wondering if you've heard.
Yeah, try to
tell
guess.
me where the weight room is.
Yeah, put in general chat when you listen to this how much you think Chig can curl. On the Discord.
Put it in Chig chat. Why general chat?
Put it in Chig chat.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that doesn't scroll off.
I was only saying that because Hate, I know, works out and lifts, and he would appreciate it. You guys can just suck my
I lift.
Loose screw.
Get over it.
You lift frickin' guitars.
I lift
you don't know. You don't know what
into
I do.
My face.
You don't know what
I'm all
I do.
about fitness. Fitting this whole birthday cake into my mouth.
I have a sack full of brownies in the microwave that have been screaming my name for 2 days.
All right. Well, listen, guys, we've got actually kind of a lot to talk about. So,
do we?
Yeah.
25-minute episode.
Do we?
Here we go.
I think I postulate that we do. So, let's tuck in. Let's go around the horn. What's been going on this past week? Do you want to start at the top or the bottom? Top or the bottom?
Top.
Chig's up. What you been doing?
What's about your hat, Chig?
Well, spent the weekend at Mall of America doing last-minute Christmas shopping and stuff, and been doing the car selling thing. And evenings, it's just a weird time of year. There's so much crap going on, and having a teenager, and pet band crap, and tutoring math for her and her friends. And I just haven't had a chance to really get in game. But by the time I sit down in front of my computer, it's like way late for when I would want to play, and I know if I jump in and start playing, I'll be up way later than I should. So I've barely played, and I feel bad because I see that that there might be stuff going on. There's bird anuses everywhere, and stuff is happening. So
yeah, things are starting to actually happen. Yeah.
So I'm hoping you guys let me know what's happening, and I'll do a Chig chat at some point, and then we're good. All right.
Okay. Stupendous. Dubs, what's up with your truck?
Oh,
or anything else you want to talk about?
Anything.
Oh, wait. I ordered a Steam Deck. Had to cut back in.
Oh, yes.
I ordered the Steam
Chig
Deck.
did buy his Steam Deck. I am proud of you, Chig.
And it shipped. And I've been spending the last 5 minutes trying to figure out how to track my Steam Deck. And I'm going to have to go to the email. No, it's
you have to
by FedEx.
You have to be at least a level 3 ranger.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
I don't.
After
believe
that, you gain the ability to track stream decks.
Oh no, I just lied. I just found it. I found the button I need to click
Deck.
on. Oh, unfortunately, we're unable to
I
preview tracking
fucking
results.
saying that wrong.
Why do you have? Why
I
do you
mean,
say
yes, the
D&D
other thing
things
is a
for
real
me to
project
chime
or an
in?
item.
Why do you see D&D things for me to chime in on when I have my mouth full of cake?
I think Aston answered.
Asked
Yeah.
it.
I
That's
see how
exactly
this
why.
is.
Yep.
I see how this is.
Anyways, I guess I'll continue. Yeah,
Yeah.
my week's been pretty similar to Chig's. Just busy working, doing bullshit around the house. I have not played the game much, if at all. I don't think I have. And yeah, for once in my life, Trax convinced me not to buy something that I wanted to buy. But it's still lingering. I might
Loser,
buy a
buy
desktop mic. Ah,
Buy
goddamn
it.
it, Chig.
It's got RGB, right?
See. It does. Actually, hold on. For $40 more, there is a customizable, programmable RGB version of this same microphone. I think
Well,
it's the Quadcast S.
You'll obviously
I don't
sound
need the
better
damn thing.
and
I
get
just
more
want it.
FPS. Yeah, you'll
I'm
sound better
definitely
and
get more
FPS.
FPS if I get the RGB USB microphone. My FPS goes up by probably about 3 or 4%. It's
Now, here's the real
scientifically
question.
proven.
Does anybody really want to hear you better?
That's the real question right there. And if
Okay.
one person says yes, I'm buying the mic.
Does it have a
So-
data voice modulation
I don't know.
so you can sound more like data?
You mean,
No?
well, in order for that to happen, it would just have to sound exactly like him, right?
You
Does
got to
it
buy
not
it.
already.
Right, that's what I'm saying. A data voice modulation would be unchanging.
Yeah, would just sound more like you.
Yeah.
I
Like,
thought
have you ever
Data
seen
would
when
sound
they
like a
do the-
robot.
They do the David Schwimmer, putting Nicolas Cage's face on David Schwimmer, and it just looks more like David Schwimmer. You ever seen that meme? That's what it'd be
No, I
like.
haven't.
He gets a microphone that sounds more like Data, and it would just sound more like Dubs.
Wouldn't like a regular old cell phone or like headset microphone be more prudent then?
You know what? I'm going to go find the microphone that came with the controller that I got with the Xbox One when I first bought it, and I'm going to start using that.
Actually,
just-
Okay, so earlier I was about to say I'm not going to lose any sleep over this either way because I know you use NVIDIA broadcast, so I'm probably not going to have a problem with your audio even if you switch to a desktop mic. But now we have a problem. Now we're crossing words. You're going to go pull out a garbage mic. This I have a problem with.
I was just thinking
What
if
is-
you got a desktop mic, then we'd hear
I'm trying
Tasha
to think
more.
about the worst quality mic that I own, and I'm going to use it next week. I'm going to
Oh,
find it.
God.
I really
All right.
feel like a thesaurus would make Dubs sound more like Data.
You trying to
Wow.
say he's like the
Are you
less?
s-
He's like the less
less
It's
educated.
okay. Just come out and say it, Hate. I'm fucking retarded, okay?
Dubs is a perfectly well-educated person who does not express the full extent of a regular person's vocabulary.
No,
It's
say
most
that with
likely-
less big words so he can understand you. And
Yeah, and he
goes,
say-
Why
it
use many
that
words
was
when
regular
few
old
words
English.
do job?
That was regular old English. And everybody listening and all the people here know exactly what I said.
Maybe
sounds
he's a
very
better
confident.
mic.
Data
I'm
doesn't know what you
satisfied
say.
with the quality of my microphone, sir.
At
Thank you.
least you are.
I'm never satisfied. If I think there's even a little bit of a quality issue, I'll spend $700 on a new motherboard and processor. I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
I can hear your wife gazing at the side of your head violently.
She's not here right now, so she
That's
can't
what-
hear these things.
We need a desktop mic so that we can hear her comments.
That's what I was saying. I think if Dub's got a desktop mic, I think we'd hear Tasha more.
We'd have a new cast member.
And
Yeah.
more Tasha means less Dub means better Dubs, right?
As a percentage of the
Isn't
whole.
she technically also Dubs, though?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I mean,
Dubception.
More
All
Dubs
right.
equals
Is
more
there
Dubs.
anything else? Anything else? Honestly?
Nothing worthwhile, honestly. I don't think anything I've said so far has added any content, really.
Okay. Hey, what's going on with you, buddy?
Man, I've been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. and staying up way too late to play Elite Dangerous. You guys ever flown with Blooming Wind?
Can't say I have.
Didn't he like just get his computer set up?
I'm the first person he's flown with.
There you go.
And man, what a blast. That dude is great company.
He seems like
excited
you'd be
about
great
that.
company.
I'm excited for everyone to fly with him.
He's always
looking
a good
forward to
text
it.
company.
Will he?
Yeah.
Do I get to turn my head and cough?
Oh, no, he's not that kind of doctor.
I didn't care if he was a doctor.
Yeah, we don't give a shit about the medical stuff. We just want him to touch us.
All right.
Well, that took a
Yep.
turn I wasn't expecting.
We just
I
set
don't
this
even have
anaconda
the,
down, and then I got something to type here.
I don't even have like the appropriate sound for that on my soundboard anymore.
There's an appropriate
Oh,
sound
you
for
literally
that.
played it earlier. What are you talking about?
God,
Yeah, that's on
damn,
my
this electric
soundboard, not on
sex
the
pants.
podcast soundboard.
Well, the moment's gone, so don't even try.
Well, no, I can't now. Anyway,
Oh, it's fine.
I'll let you continue, Hate.
okay, so I guess we're gonna move on.
It's been a good week. I'm looking forward to another good week. Mr. Teflon, how's your week gone? What have you been doing?
Oh, fuck! It's my turn. Okay, it's been going okay. I immediately lost. I lost motivation for the Elite Dangerous stuff after we found out that stuff last week. And then Burr Pit made me feel better, but I just been so busy I haven't had time to get on. And what time I have had to play video games, I have actually started playing Jedi Fallen Order, and it's really good. Like, I'm really enjoying the story of it so far, and it's a lot of fun to play. But I'll be back in Elite now. But yeah, so we'll talk more about Elite.
Would it make you happy, Teflon, if I told you I watched the whole Obi-Wan series and I'm halfway through Andor?
It would
Or
make me
Andor?
happy if you were finished with Andor.
Andor. I'm still waiting for the Ewoks. But
It'll make me happy. It'll make me happy when we can talk about Andor. In full spoiler modes, because you're never going to get me with this. I'm never going to mess.
I'm
it up.
getting there. When did the Ewoks jump in? I'm 7 episodes in. I've not seen a single Ewok.
I will be ecstatic when you finish it and we can talk about it. Spoilers, me and you and Nurgle, or at least me and you.
So final episode is when we get the Ewoks. Got it.
And then but the Obi-Wan's good too. I like Obi-Wan.
I have my problems with it, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah, there was one episode where I was kind of on. I was kind of meh on. But the rest of it, I was really enjoyable, especially the first. I want to say the first 3 episodes, because they made Darth Vader real scary.
Yeah, he doesn't need help being scary though.
Yeah, but it's possible to screw it up.
Absolutely.
Yes, Disney has proven time and again.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm eating birthday cake. So because it's
Happy
my birthday.
How old are you, young feller?
38.
And how much can you curl? And do you wear a hat?
I don't know, and usually I do,
All right, perfect.
because I'm going bald. I just wear a hat to cover it up.
Good choice.
So yeah.
Good deal.
Grabbing the reins. Mr. Trex, what have you been up to the last 2 weeks?
Yeah,
This podcast is hosted by Hate.
I have been playing Elite. I haven't had like good evenings to play, so I haven't like jumped on to do a lot of combat. But I've been doing like, a little bit of morning coffee, lunch break time kind of stuff. So went and like after the patch came out, they buffed up the Orthrus a little bit. So I went out and recorded a quick video, made sure those were still soloable. In case that was going to be news. It's not really. And then basically like the random times that I do have to play, it's like in off hours. So combat's like the conflict zones are exceptionally buggy right now. And so I was like, whatever, I'll just fill up my mats, run passengers. So I've been doing a lot of passenger running. And then at a certain point, the mission boards got really rough. So I took a little break and played Ancient Dungeon VR roguelike game, which is very fun. It's like a dungeon crawler roguelike with a voxel art style. It's just a lot of fun. And now I'm running passengers again.
I just think it's cool.
I like a break.
I like how many people it's brought back into the game, but for us, bug hunting, look at our general voice chat right now. Do you see who's in there?
Scrolling up.
Four of those guys are people that we just bumped into when we were running wing missions, killing bugs like 7 systems ago. How we kept going from one place to another wherever AXCZs were. And all those guys are now in our Discord, having fun and doing stuff now that there's bugs back. And a lot of these guys, Dolbs, not Dubs, we now have a Dolbs and a Dubs. But I mean, Dolbs went away from the game for like 4 months when those missions went away. And now he's back and he joined the squadron finally. Michael 404, he went away when all that stuff was gone. Kieran, Tiger Damas, they, had stepped away for a bit. And now all the stuff is back. I'm just surprised Steam charts numbers aren't bigger than they are, because it sure as hell seems like there are way, way more people that have returned than, were playing just a little while ago.
It could just be like, it's never like the player base itself has never really been as focused on in one spot as this before. Whereas like, there's 2 systems that the big community groups are telling people to work. The AXI is telling people to work, and there's and the other system that they're telling them to do passenger missions in. Mm-hmm. So that could be why we're just seeing so many more people in the game that we're not used to seeing. But I mean, I'm sure there is also an influx. Also, I was just
but every Discord I'm a member of has people in voice chat like every night, and the European ones, during the day when I normally wouldn't be on, I'm seeing a lot of people on. It's just been a lot more people. I mean, like a lot more. I mean, look at AXI right now.
Yeah, I'm looking Discord. At AXI right now. Yeah,
it's crazy.
There are so many people in there. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, a month ago, you'd go over there on a random weeknight, you might see 4 people. Now there's, it looks like probably 20, 25 people. In different voice chats.
I had to go into our own private group because I can't get a pad reliably. And I mean, everyone's being polite about the pads. Nobody's hogging them. We're getting out. But like, I'm running a large ship. Rescue ships still indefensibly only have 1 large pad on them. And
I know, right?
There's a line of beluga, anaconda, cutter, beluga, and we're all queuing up in an orderly line. But I was like, you know what? I actually don't care this much. I'm going to switch to our own Loose Screws private group and not be an AXI, and then I don't have to deal with this.
I would like to know more.
AXI
about our private
Discord.
Group.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. If we ever do events where we're actually playing in the Loose Screws private group, we have one now. You can search for it and find it. I wonder who made it.
Is it open accept?
It is.
And it's made by that Commander Loose Screws podcast guy.
It's made by some commander called Loose Screws Podcast. That's right.
Don't get it confused with the commander that's just called Loose Screws. Whoever that is has been inactive.
Do they have a private group?
Months. I would assume every commander has a private group you can ask for an invite to.
You have to create one. Oh, you don't you can. Any commander can have one, but until you push create, it doesn't exist.
I don't think I have.
It's been a really long time since I've done that.
I never made one for my main commander.
Me neither.
Me either.
So anyway.
Anywho.
Yeah. Things are crowded. The game's crowded. Hate shared a screenshot of the Steam numbers. 22, almost 23% gain over 30 days.
Which really feels like it's more, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, The population density has been increased exponentially. Like you
Yeah,
guys
I mean,
were
it's
saying,
both, right? It's the higher, 30% higher population. That's Steam only. So
that's
it's
Steam only. It's
probably a
also
little
been
bigger than
sucking
that.
people out of the black and back into the bubble to defend
Mhm.
humanity.
And
Yep.
cargo runners who might be who knows where out in the bubble. Now they're here.
Yep.
And I mean, there's a few places they could be, but the community is still, I think, mostly now for testing purposes. Well, we're starting to get right into it, aren't we? Haha.
yeah.
I
Is
think
is that a good
th-
transition? That good natural transition?
It's flowing
Yeah.
well.
I mean, if as long as we rearrange and we don't try to put the squad update here.
Oh, there's notes.
There's always notes, dude.
God damn it.
That's
Dubs,
all right.
Did you read the
Yeah.
notes?
Me?
Did you just ask
Read
if
notes?
Dubs read something?
You assume that I can read, first off. And second, you assume that I am willing to read. The answer to both of which is no.
I can read the
That's-
notes, but I rarely do. I rarely do.
That's a lot of assumptions. A lot of assumptions all
You
at
know what they
once.
say about assumptions? They make an ass out of you and umption.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and start things off. Let's do a squad update. Keep it real. Keep it light. And I'm just gonna find where the hell I put that sound because there it is down at the bottom. You ready? All right.
Incoming priority message.
Squadron briefing.
We have really simple orders in the Discord. We update them most days. We're keeping them real simple because we know everybody's out there trying to fight bugs or defend humanity. We recognize that as a pressing matter, especially with the Oya Maelstrom so close. But we do have some BGS going on. We have 5 simmering problems, 5 systems that are simmering up moderately high. Ross 310 is one of those, and I know Nerdle talked about it last week or the week before. It's not often that Ross has been a problem in the recently TM, but Ross 310, Balmus, Unctomi, V740 Cassiopeia, hopefully over the next 2 days we can get those knocked out. If anyone other than me and Nurgle and Blooming when you're doing PGS. Then, we are still monitoring the Caustic Cloacas and the other Maelstroms. And I would just want to, re-congratulate Obl1v1ous for winning the fleet carrier from putting his emotes on the standing orders every day. And it literally multiple times every day, he posted what he was up to. And he named his fleet carrier the English. It's been a real struggle for me, and I'm real sorry. He named his fleet carrier the Benevolent Benefactor.
All right.
That
Okay.
buttons that up.
Hell yeah. So are any of the Maelstroms that haven't landed yet, are any of them predicted to be anywhere near us, or is this the closest one?
Oh yeah, it's the closest one. There is another one that is about 20 light years further away,
Okay.
but that's still 50,
That's
50
still an
light years
estimate.
away. Yeah. Yeah. And that one
Yeah.
is slated for next week.
Okay. Nifty. All right. Well, actually, I was going to say and forgot to. A couple people that probably would be here but aren't. Nurgle has gotten sick with the COVIDs, so he's not feeling good and had to take the night. So get well, Nurgle. I will do my best to try to represent your opinion in our later discussion because I know it was a forceful one.
Nurgle,
If somebody
I hope you
else
feel
doesn't.
better soon, buddy.
Yeah. And Data also not here because they had another baby over there today. So taking time off for a not sad reason.
That was a good birthday present, Data. I'm so I'm so glad you waited until my birthday.
Yeah. So congratulations and get well.
Did they name it
respectively.
Teflon?
They should. We'll talk to them. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we gotta push that for sure. We could
That
put up a
sounds
poll
awful.
on the Discord, and Data has to name his child whatever the winning vote is, and we only put one option: Teflon.
He could be.
Got him.
Got him.
Yep.
Sucker.
All right.
Trap. He could be instant. He could be.
Oh.
Since he's little. Since there's little Lieutenant Commander Data, he could be instant Teflon. The second.
No. We can do two options: Teflon or Admiral Akbar, but it has to be Commander Admiral Akbar.
Okay. So next on my notes, I've got a couple of segments. We've got another exploration report from Grover Kiwi from the future. Let's hit, and I put a B in front of it so it appeared at the top of my list. Yes, there it is. Okay, great. Fantastic. And here's the next exploration report. Take it away.
Space. It's fucking gigantic. And this is the exploration report. First, we have to talk about the boost to plant scanning. We've had a lot of questions about where to find the best planets and how best to scan. So here's a few things we've found. For those new to scanning, you'll need an Artemis suit from a Pioneer supply store. It comes with a plant gun, or as they say in Lave, the Dyson scanner, which is needed for exobiology. It's fairly easy to use. Point it at the life form, and when you see a ring appear, pull and hold the trigger until the scan completes. Then, move the appropriate distance away and repeat 2 more times. Don't forget, you can also scan the biologic with your SRV's short-range scanner, and then press the O key on your keyboard to bring up the codex to the discovery page. This will show you how far away you need to move between scans. Once you have completed all 3 scans, the exobio data will be stored in your suit, and you can move to the next species and start it all over again and again and again. Often, you'll find the specific samples you need in the same area, but occasionally it helps to jump back into your ship and fly to find the next sample. For instance, finding bacterium on an icy planet, where it's often much easier to spot from a few hundred meters in the air. From our testing, we've seen the minimum payout has gone from around 50,000 to 1 million credits. If you're the first to sample that particular bioform on that specific planet, you get a bonus 5 times the credits, and so even the lowest paying samples become much more enticing and lucrative to find. The highest payout we have seen is over 16 million credits, and that's before the 5 times bonus. Without too much effort, a couple of hours plant scanning has netted us 250 million credits. With luck, the payout could be much, much more. You will usually find the most biosignals on rocky bodies orbiting gas giants. More than one biosignal on a high metal content world will usually mean a high value scan. In other exploration news, Redditor Starry Wolf 78 is planning an expedition for legacy players, leaving from the Meliai system on the 18th of December. Supported by the carrier Spruan von Leben, the expedition plans to visit various points of interest in the galaxy, including Beagle Point. Information to this is in the show notes. And now for the exploration tip. Contrary to some reports, Stratum tectonicus does not make a suitable spread for your toast, no matter how tired of Mulachi giant fungus you are. This has been your exploration report, coming to you live, pre-recorded, from the future.
So good. Oh, so good.
That is very good. That is very good.
Having a lot of fun.
I do like to hear those exploration reports. That was long enough to be a commercial break. I like that one.
Yeah, we we had a big hole in the show there. We never talked about exploration stuff. We knew it. We'd been told it several times. We knew it, and this is what we needed. So glad to have Grover contributing, and obviously all of our contributors are now adding sound effects and stuff, and couldn't be happier.
We have a very talented group of commanders in the Loose Screws Network.
Yeah. All right. Great job. And those links are in the show notes. He said presumptuously in the recording. No, he knew I was going to put it in there.
Okay.
Anyway.
This is what I want to say. Grover, do this on the weeks I'm stuck hosting the show, so I got some high quality content to add, rather than on the weeks that Trax does and it's already high quality. Come on. Do it on Ghetto Week.
Ghetto Week. All right. All right. So one more coming at you. It's time for the Tinhadium Express.
On the board, the Tinhadium Express!
Welcome aboard the Tinhadium Express. I'm recording the lower portion of the carrier this week. We're in a vacant system to undergo repairs and rearm. The bridge is currently off limits to most crew. Some of the service areas were hit, so they're all suspended for the time being. Until repairs are complete, visitors are advised to remain in their ships for the time being. That out of the way, let's get started. December 5th, refugees flee from Thargoid offensive. A look at how the war is impacting those displaced. On December 6th, Congressman Chase admits the Kingfisher was a mistake. And on December 8th, carnage wrought by further maelstroms as more arrive. During the week, 3 different CGs were started regarding human-made axe weapons. I didn't cover them on any particular day because, again, there were 3 of them, and they were all worded the same. The only thing worth mentioning is how quickly they're being completed, each being done in about a day or 2, with all of them being given an 8-week timeline. That's all for news this week. Have fun out there. How long is that line for breakfast? Oh, no. I'll wait a few more minutes. Oh, shit. I'm still recording.
Good as always.
Fantastic. All right.
Hold on. What did they serve for breakfast?
What?
How long
I didn't
is
hear
that
you,
line?
sorry.
What did they serve for breakfast? I'm hungry.
Oh, what do they serve for breakfast on the Tinhadium Express?
Yeah.
Beats me.
I don't know. I just got done.
As people.
I just got done eating some pocket bacon. So
Pocket bacon.
Pocket bacon.
you never heard of pocket bacon?
I'm afraid
Guys-
I haven't.
You guys don't keep a baggie of bacon in your pocket for a snack
Not when I'm at home.
when you go. Well, I had leftover.
Well, that only
from
raises
earlier.
But
more
I will
questions.
now.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
pocket cheese.
I
You guys
do
don't
have
do that?
FOMO about it, even though I've just heard about it right now.
Yeah, pocket bacon.
All right, I like it.
I know somebody out there will get the reference.
All right.
They don't
Okay.
listen to the show, but they'll get the reference.
They'll get it.
Are you-
They'll get it.
No, there's got to be somebody listening to the show that'll get it.
Oh.
If not, then I guess I'm out here. But they're all going to be winners.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Moving on.
Gotta keep,
We're all
gotta
used
keep
to
writing
that.
anyway. All right. So you want to talk about Thargoids?
Thargoid.
I guess.
All right.
Thick Thargoid booty.
I think I might have clicked the wrong sound. I don't know.
did
Do
you
you guys
click the
want to hear
right
the other
sound?
one? Or did I click the right one? So Thargoids, Maelstroms are some new ones showed up. Had they shown up when you guys recorded last week? I can't remember when anything happened anymore.
No, I was out sick.
Yes. Wait. Yes.
Okay.
All
Well, so there's 5, and there was a big hullabaloo about it all. Some new info came out, but the point is, one of them just today, one of the focus systems that both AXI and IDA and the evac group, and everybody was focusing on.
Victory!
Completed. Victory, yeah. So that one will with 2 days to spare. So that one in a couple of days will go into recovery, post Thargoid recovery.
Like how when the bar
period.
got full, it even says on it that in 2 days it will go into recovery or something.
Right, exactly. And I noticed, because I was out there, I noticed right before we started recording that the missions actually still exist at the station. Evac missions and stuff like that are still there, although there did not appear to be Thargoids attacking the station anymore.
Really?
So that seemed to stop right away. I no longer had like a conflict zone alert when I entered it. There were still a bunch of ships flying around, flinging decon limpets at me, a bunch of decon Acondas flying around. But there was not any Thargoids out there, at least right before I started playing. And at that point, I moved to the other system, which is now the focus, since that one's complete. So, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about the mechanics of this all in a little bit. The enhanced AX weapons and the CGs that Bard mentioned did become available. So far, just the multi-cannons, right? The missiles haven't
Have
come
not
true
seen
yet.
the missiles.
Yeah, so the multi-cannons, verdict is they kick ass.
That's what I'm hearing.
Basically, they're a higher projectile speed, and I guess I think there's a slightly higher DPS, but I think that's mostly resulting from the projectile speed landing more hits or something. I'm not sure.
Well, somebody said that it's a tighter group too, so they must be hitting more of the bullets are actually hitting. I think
so it's like a
is the
tighter
big
tracking.
thing.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to try them yet. I'm going to go buy some right now.
I did put them on for a second, so I'm like flying this rescue Anaconda around, and it's got no guns, but they're available at the rescue ships. So while I was there, I just said, okay, so I put 4 size 3s on. Size 3 is the sweet spot for AX multi-cannons. It's not like a linear progression from size 2 to 3. It's like a disproportionately more damage from the size 3 gun. So it's ideal if you can use them in your larger slots. But anyway, yeah, so I threw 4 of them onto this Anaconda. They're turreted, but the AX guns that come turreted, they've never behaved like actual turret guns do in the rest of the game. They don't. Well, the multi-cannons do track, but they track more like gimbals. They have the range of a turret, but they don't go in fire at will mode. They, like I said, they behave more like gimbals in the sense of how the trigger works. So I stripped them back off. I thought, like, if I could get them to do fire at will, then I'll just deploy hardpoints when I'm entering or leaving a station, and they'll cut down a few scouts on my way in and out each time, because they're very fast at that. But since they don't track, I'd have to chase them and target them and stuff like that. So I'm not going to bother. But if you're interested in scout hunting, that is for sure the way to go. It's still going to be kind of a slog to try to hunt an interceptor with it, but they're better than the old ones were, for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think I put them on my Python that I have.
I'm putting
set
some on
up
my
as a rescue
Python
ship.
as we speak.
Yeah. And I still think for Orthrus, the missiles are going to be best. Still, it's just so much more damage. But I think, isn't one of the CGs for missiles enhanced version of the missiles?
I don't know.
So we'll see what that's like. If maybe they'll beat the serious ones and make me feel bad for spending all the mats. I bought a bunch of serious ones.
Get this. I haven't seen an Orthrus yet. Orifice yet.
Oh, you should check it out.
Orthrus.
Me too. We need to go Orthrus hunting one night.
Yeah, let's go find ourselves some orifices.
Yeah, let's
early
go find some
reports were they
orifices
were
and penetrate them with missiles.
Yes. Yes.
Early reports were that they were sort of hard to find, but I didn't have that trouble. I did observe that. So they're in alert systems. They are these threat 4 signal sources with a salvage icon. For me, 100% of threat 4 salvage signal sources have been Orthrus in alert systems. If you hear that some of the signal sources are and some aren't, it's probably that they're not paying attention to that salvage icon.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but like I said, I've killed 5 or 6 of them, and 100% of the signal sources I drop into were Orthrus.
Well, that's finding just interceptors. If there's the salvage, you're always going to find an interceptor at the higher numbers, but you might find them in others, but most likely it might be scouts. So
yeah. So what I found when I was looking was I would always go to the nav beacon because I can't see them all from the FSS. Often they were quite far away. I don't think I've ever found an Orthrus within 3,000 light seconds of the main star. They make you go out a little bit. And that feels intentional to me because even when there was a lot of signal sources closer, none of the threat 4s had a salvage icon until I got out between like 3 and I went as far as 8,000 light seconds to get to one time. So I get the impression they're kind of putting them out there on purpose, making you hunt a little bit. So I went to the nav beacons, and if I didn't find one, I just went to a different system. Or like I killed an Orthrus and then I went back to the nav beacon, tried to find another one. There wasn't any more threat 4s. I had to go to another system to find another one and then go back and so on.
And they lowered the payout on those, right? So they're below a Dusa, above a Basilisk payout
Yeah,
now?
so they're 30 million now, and the 14.1 patch included a buff to their shield. And I posted a little video. I think I put it in the AX channel here, but I immediately went out and like tried to do another solo kill. It is a little tougher, and I encountered a little problem when the first one I fought because I was kind of too close and I got kicked far away by his hyperspace portal and I couldn't get back to him in time. And I missed time and actually missed the kill. And then the second one, I gave him some more space so I didn't get kicked. And then that was pretty easy. But it's easy. I think it's easier for me because I fly without flight assist. So I can just have him face me. I'm flying backwards and he's flying basically toward me and I'm just shooting the broadside of a barn the whole time. It's quite easy. But if you're doing an edge on, it's a little trickier with the flight path of a missile being what it is. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Learning FA-off is something I really got to do.
Same.
Yeah.
It helps.
It helps.
Well,
Takes a commitment, but it's fun. It's really fun.
I'm so excited by like this whole Thargoid War. Like that, you know, it's something that I always had on the back burner, but now like I'm really motivated to do it. Much like building these other AX ships and going out to the Guardian sites to get things. So like I'm really motivated by this. It like the update 14 breathed a lot of life into the game for me.
Hell yeah.
I feel a lot of purpose.
We all
except for the blah
purpose.
blah that we might talk about later.
No, there's blah blah. I don't like
there's blah blah
at all.
Yeah. Orthrus is fun. It's cool to see an interceptor. It's not, calls for help. It only ever brings scouts and it escapes before anything. I wondered if something bigger would come in later on in the scenario, but it's dead or escaped before anything else comes in. So it's just scouts. Yeah, that's all. That's okay. That's okay.
All right.
Okay, what else? So bugs remain. The patch, the 14.1 patch cleared up some things. I forgot to post in the notes what the actual patch was fixing. I only have like the outstanding issues from it.
Start there.
It was fixing something. I know it. Like I said, they made a change to Orthrus. There was something else that was changed to, but outstanding issues that remain, or at least are high on the issue tracker. The phase time countdown was counting down weeks instead of days, like per day. They did not acknowledge that. I wonder if that was some kind of weird visual thing that's already fixed or something, but there's been no mention of it that I've heard from Frontier. AX conflict zones don't work /break when you're not alone. This they have acknowledged. They're looking at it. I find it hilarious because this has always happened, but now everybody's playing AX, so we get some attention. So
rather
I'm glad
than
for the attention.
That dozen people that always pointed out this problem, now there's like thousands of commanders pissed about it.
It was instantly like number 3 on the issue tracker, like on day 2.
my God.
So it's like, okay, as long as it gets fixed, this is an issue that is long-standing. It's also an issue that they have claimed to fix before, just like the shadows for the last 2 updates. They've said flickering shadows are fixed. They're not.
Oh, completely random. I just logged on for the first time and I got my 100 bonus arcs from FDev.
I noticed that when I sat down today too.
Huh,
so
cool.
that was a little further down in the show notes, but yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut in. I just logged on for the first time,
today apparently marks the first day of the 12 days of AXCZs, which I think they might actually refer to it that way.
Do they?
I don't know.
If they don't, they should.
They really should.
Then they should pay why you wouldn't.
So as I recall from previous years, it's 100 arcs today. I think it kind of goes up incrementally. The final day might be like a 400 or something.
Yeah,
it's like kind of keeps going up.
Vaguely.
Yeah. I haven't touched my comms panel very much today, but that was still all screwed up last time I played. And I haven't had any mission board troubles today, but a couple of days ago and for the few days following that, I kept watching Discord and seeing comments about it that it was bad news. Got to the point where I really couldn't do anything. So that's when I went and played a different game for a while. But that's my bug report.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. So dev news. They have their eye on those issues. The Thargoid War. Okay, here we go. So the exobio ranks, they got a huge pay buff. The ranks needed to be rank progression needed to be adjusted because of that. So basically they seem to be not reversing the massive pay in exobio, but they are changing how the ranks are scheduled. So some people got their ranks like right away. If you didn't get all the way to Elite 5 in that time, then I guess you sort of missed out, because your rank progression now will appear to sort of not move or be very, very, very slow for a while it sort of realigns with where it should be for the new
Okay, I've been
metrics.
tutoring a lot of math and stuff, and I've been trying to figure out their explanation as to why that is. Can somebody help me out? Because I'm really confused.
I can tell you what their intent is. They increased the pay, and that caused some people to like instantly fly up to Elite 5. So they just reshuffled where the ranks will change.
But didn't everybody drop down to like 0% in whatever current rank they were?
No.
Okay.
No, people just. I mean, I don't think so. I don't know. I get the impression the experience is probably different for different people. But like, if you were near the end of a rank, they made this adjustment, and now you might not see like hardly any progression for a super long time because the game's like waiting to catch up to where that rank ought to be.
Okay.
Considering the new higher pay.
Yeah, but
they assure us that it is working as intended. It's just it might look funny until you hit your next rank. Progression will look altered because it's realigning itself. That's what they said. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know more than that.
Well, that's, AXCZs are going to act funny until they realign themselves. And then they might start working properly. I have no idea. It just sounds like bullshit to me, but all right.
I mean, it's also pretty invisible to us too. I mean, we can see the bar. We can't see percentages anymore, which means we'd have to be tracking it in some external way to even tell objectively.
Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
This again.
Just asking. Sometimes their ability to communicate is dubious at best.
Yeah. It was a weird thing. All right, so the next thing, and this is a big dubious at best. The Thargoid War mechanics were kind of explained a bit because they were addressing something about how I think this was a question, and Bruce, I think, responded to it on the forum, that so on any given system, we have like a progress bar, and there is a counter counting down in weeks or days. until
fuck's sake.
the time when the phase is going to change. If the progress bar, what we're told is, if the progress bar is not complete at the time that that phase change happens, the progress is erased. No, it's if it's not complete at the end of any given week. That's the issue. Okay, I've got it now. It resets every week. So even if it's like 3 weeks until the Thargoids would move to their next phase, you still have to complete the entire progress bar in any one of those 3 weeks in order to advance the system the other way. So progress is erased if it is anything less than 100%, if it's 99% or lower. The community was in an uproar about it. So this is where we basically go with it. So this is the way they arranged it. It wasn't clear to us until they basically said that that's what was going to happen. Everyone got rather upset, and all the major groups basically said, well, we'll throw up our hands because this seems not right, and we'll see if it's going to change in the future. Then the next 3 Maelstroms arrive, and there's a Galnet article that mentions that now that there are more Maelstroms and more, like a wider front to the war, the Thargoid presence will be spread more thin. Which kind of doesn't make realistic sense to me, but I feel like it's a hint, it's like a wink wink, and we've lowered the resistance to run the bars down. To make progress in all of these systems now. And it was very immediately clear that that was the case. Like where before we spent an entire week and got almost nowhere, in just a day we'd made very, very significant progress in the systems we were paying attention to. So basically they nerfed the Thargoid resistance to our progress, but they did not change the resetting each week. Now's the time for discussion, everybody. What do you guys think?
I mean, I just, I want it to be hard. You know what I mean? But I don't think I want it to be player driven. You know what I mean? Like the way they described it initially was it felt very much like, hey, we put this system in here and it could go, it's going to do what it's programmed to do. And we're going to keep like a finger on the button or, a finger on it to kind of, so they can make adjustments, but we're going to, we're just going to put this system in here, these Maelstroms, and then it's going to start doing its thing, and you're going to have to react and do things, and, and if it gets away from you, it's going to overrun things, so you got to do something about it. And then it just felt like, oh, we weren't meant to do anything. Like we weren't. It was meant to always be hopeless, rather than, having. It's different having a slight possibility, making progress in one system, while the other systems are failing. That's how it should feel at the beginning of this war, and that's fine.
But in week one, the entire
it,
player base was fucking doing everything in one system and never stood a chance of helping in that first week.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is like, it should feel like we're making a dent in this one system with everybody working in this one system. Like I know there are other systems that are going to fall and are failing while everybody's focused on this one system, but that one system would be pushed back, while these other ones advance. And it's just like this, continuous tide rolling over us.
Exactly. But instead, I mean, this week it looks like we might be able to get 2 systems, and there's a bunch of systems with stuff. They should, if the entire player base is working on this war, we should be able to clear a few in a week, especially considering they have more cloacas coming in. We'd fall behind again. So it still seems not dialed into me anywhere close to where it should be to be dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel better about it now.
Glad you do.
I still don't, I still want it to be difficult, almost like a slow wave, just slowly knocking us, slowly overtaking us until whatever the next advancement of technology is that helps us, be back a little bit more, then a little more. And, We could have stories of people, last stands in these systems, and trying to push them back as their space is being slowly taken over. This is going to be a long war.
Yeah,
and I'm
how
excited
many
to fight
systems are under attack right now? Do we know?
106.
Okay, there's 106 under attack, and we might be able to beat 2, and there's still 3 cloacas to come in. So they really could have, I don't know, if we could have cleared a few systems and felt like we're making progress. Right now, it's like we got one system with the entire player base, the largest player groups working on it. It just seems way out of whack to me. But then again, remember, I'm the guy that's barely had a chance to fucking play. I just am going off of reading Discord posts, and no, I'm not going to even lie and say I've read forum posts, but I just, there's so much going on, and literally there's that many being attacked, and there are more cloacas coming in. I feel they should have sided on the side of making it a little bit easier and then dialed up the difficulty, because like the next cloacas coming in, they could have all of a sudden been like, we could have made a lot of progress that first week, and then the next cloacas came in and like, oh my God, we're being overwhelmed now. But instead they made it like literally impossible for week 1. And now it's if we can clear, let's say we can clear 2 a week with 106 in there right now, that means that's, over a year to catch up. And that's with no other systems being overrun. And if we're only clearing these ones, then we're going to be losing systems, which means the Thargoids are going to push forward. I don't know. Right now, it does have that helpless feel, which maybe that's what, they're going for.
Maybe intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's intended. Like, I really do. And
I don't think anything's ever intended with them, but all right.
The big kick in the teeth for me was just like we're going to reset all the progress. And it wasn't until I watched Burpit's video afterwards, after the clarification, that I actually felt better about it. And so I'm ready to come back and keep playing. I've just been busy. But it's going to be a long war until advancements or story beats happen, where we're able to maybe turn the tide some.
Well, maybe more weapons to all the commanders. It's not just experienced anti-Xeno pilots. Us bug hunters aren't the only ones who can fight them, and that's why these new weapons are coming in. I can see that for sure. If they planned it this way, and as we're going to get stronger and stronger weapons, and we can start beating them back a lot easier, then I can see it.
Well, first of all, so Nurgle couldn't be here. I know he was pretty sour about this, and just the fact that it's sort of fly, and I agreed with him at the time. So I'm going to try to hopefully represent his feelings well. But the way it makes it feel like it's a step at least toward what we do doesn't actually matter, because we can do a bunch of work and it'll actually just be erased. It's not so, I think the intention is that that's supposed to seem like Thargoid reinforcements arrive each week or something like that, but that's not. There are ways to do that it would appear to be Thargoid reinforcements, right? The bar. Shouldn't the bar be like a tug of war kind of situation, and it can flow in one direction and then maybe flow back in the other direction? But instead, it's somebody compared it to the way BGS wars happen currently, where except instead of a daily system, it's like a weekly system. But that's too slow. The way BGS wars work is fine for a daily system because, one, we don't have any feedback about it in the game, and it happens over the course of just 24 hours, so it doesn't take very long to get the report, basically. And then you're winning a best of 7. And that's not at all the way it is with this either. It's like the phase moving in one direction or the other. It's
but could the phase be just the sheer number of systems that are involved, and we need to whittle away at those. And right now, we just aren't strong enough to do it. And hence, you add stronger weapons. Yeah. The number of pilots we have can whittle it down faster as everybody's ships get stronger without a ton of engineering, because we're winning this through the CGs they're running. You know, I don't know.
Well, we can speculate into the future. I mean, if I was to guess, I would imagine that what's going to turn the tide is whatever is going on with the Maelstroms. Like, we're going to come up with more, there's going to be more story advancement there, and we're going to come up with some way to figure out what that is and to get rid of it, right? And that's what's going to actually eliminate a front in the war. That's what's going to actually eliminate those Thargoid reinforcements or something. But like, to the topic of like, is the reset acceptable? It's kind of a cheap video gamey mechanic that I don't very much appreciate. Now, on the flip side, just to say, like, I also felt a little better after watching the Burr Pitts video. His point was, paraphrasing, that the reset forces us to concentrate on systems, which is what we were doing already, but like to gather as a group instead of just spreading out and fighting wherever we want to concentrate on systems, on individual systems or a handful of them, to concentrate our forces so that we actually have a chance to do it inside of 1 week.
But see, I disagree with that.
I still think that's the wrong way to do it, but I mean, it does have that effect.
But think about it,
I still think it's the wrong way.
Yeah, but if they were a little bit weaker, we could still do that, because we would focus everything to close out systems quickly and move to the next, and move to the next, and move to the next.
I agree with you. We would have done it anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't necessarily buy that. And all due respect, Burr and Rainey, I love you both, and your videos keep a lot of people's faith where it needs to be in this game. So I agree with that, but I don't think that I just don't buy that. So
it's a little rose tinted.
A little bit. A little duckies and bunnies for sure.
Yeah, but it seems like if the reset mechanic was going to change, then that conversation would hopefully be happening by now. So I don't know. I would rather see, like I said, something more akin to a tug of war, where the bar can flow in different directions, and maybe there are reinforcements on a daily scale or every 3 days, or maybe we don't know when they happen, but sometimes the bar moves backwards.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, shit, now we got to go back in a little harder.
And that's just it. What you're saying there makes everything better, adding that tug of war bar, because then you'd know how many commanders you need there.
Yeah.
If it looks like that bar is moving super fast, that's like, okay, let's move some people to this system, because that system we're going to overcome quickly. And then all of a sudden you start losing, never mind, everybody get back here, because right now we just don't know. It's either going to stop or keep progressing, rather than seeing it all of a sudden go backwards.
So like, I really wanted, like, this came out and I was like, whoop, drop the sticks, I'm out. This has got to change. Not fair. Don't like. As did all the major groups, right? And then I thought, they're going to change this. So this uproar. This is a growing pain. Like, also the point made by Burr, and I think everybody understands this, when they add a new mechanic that they, I think, rightly can't beta test because it's story spoilers. They need to kind of set it high and then walk it back down to find the right spot to test it live.
I absolutely agree. I think it's smarter to start it high and then walk it down. Because
I wanted
if you start it too easy, I think it makes people get bored with it too quickly.
Yeah, if it was too easy, everybody agrees. It shouldn't be easy. It should be horribly difficult. But I wanted them to. I wanted them to change the reset, though, and instead they changed the difficulty.
And I think,
anyway, sorry, I was talking over everybody.
From an immersion standpoint, I'd rather have it too easy early, because then the bug sent more, rather than when you nerf it, why'd the bugs quit fighting so hard, kind of thing. You know, I think from immersion standpoint.
But they were spread out, because now the new Maelstroms came. Now, why didn't the Maelstroms contain their own Thargoids? I don't know.
That's what I was.
But I think that's definitely. Don't you agree that that's definitely why that line was in the Galnet?
Yeah, to make it seem like, they got to defend the Maelstroms, but we can't attack the Maelstroms. So why would they spread out to defend them?
Well, they also, just spread over more systems surrounding the Maelstroms.
They showed up with the first Maelstrom, and then more showed up with each Maelstrom. Like,
right.
I thought they were carrying them.
Yeah, so that's like, I'll say that's why I'm like, for me, it makes more sense for it to start out. If it's not strong enough, you can more easily explain why it gets harder because they keep bringing in more.
Well,
and if
stories
we're doing
also.
it, and if it's too hard for us, you just don't bring in more and maybe nerf a little bit, rather than having it so fucking hard that they had to nerf the shit out of it.
Well, here's the thing about game design. I do think it's smarter to start hard and then try to dial it down from a gameplay perspective. I will always say gameplay trumps story in games because, if you're not having fun playing a game, you're not going to stick around for the story.
Then why make it way harder earlier?
Story is the most flexible part of game development because you can change the story and wrap it around the game mechanics.
And that's what I'm saying with it being easier. The
from
story
a game
is
mechanics,
they set reinforcements.
Yeah, so from a game mechanic standpoint, I think it's easier to start the difficulty higher, and then tune it down in order to keep your players playing. From the story perspective, you just have to come up with something that would fit it. You know what I mean? And even if it's hastily done like that, like it seems like that's why that they said the Thargoids are spread out. But I mean, you get what I'm saying, right?
I am, but I don't necessarily agree with it.
I get what you're saying. I think in this particular case, it's sort of a bad example for what you're saying, because I think what you're saying is probably usually true, but in this case, the way they drew the story gave them a clear path to do it the other way, to start light and then make it more difficult as more Maelstroms show up. They still could go either way, but I think this is kind of a bad example of the point you're trying to make in that sense.
I just think that's the most flexible part is the story. And then I just think it's smarter from a game mechanics standpoint, from a game design standpoint, to start it more difficult and then tune it downwards. But that's just
but from a story standpoint, it makes it less just plausible. I don't know, because the way that they were if they'd have landed all 8 Maelstroms and then starting hard, and then, oh God, this is too hard, let's back it down. The fact that they were bringing in the Maelstroms, I'm calling them Maelstroms now, the Cloacas, but the fact that they only brought in a few, that seems like starting out easier because there's less to deal with.
Yeah.
And then they could have ramped up difficulty. That's where
so I think that's like when we see, well, 1's arrived, now 3 more, now all 8.
And it's getting easier.
That is the story suggesting it should be getting harder. And then they're on the other side going, well, it looks like this was too hard. We need to ratchet it down so they can complete a system in a week. And then they throw in that line. That's them trying to adjust the story to the gameplay, which is, I think, what Teflon is saying, right? Like,
yeah.
But unfortunately, it sounds dumb in this case because the way the story was already written, it would have made more sense to do the gameplay the other way, and then they wouldn't have had to adjust the story. But
absolutely, they should have come up with a better explanation for it rather than that one. It feels hasty. Not that I don't want to come off like I'm bitching and moaning about it too much, because like I don't mind it because
I'll straight out say we may just be reading into it. They could have a genius reason for all of this, and this is all planned. But I mean, these are an alien species that we're not supposed to understand. So
that's true.
Maybe there's something going on there that we don't know, and they're going to explain it. Or hint, hint, devs, come up with an explanation for us later. I'm fine with it if you figure out a way to trick me into believing that this was all intentional.
Well, in that interview, Tom said that sometimes he in kind of like a, maybe I shouldn't say this sort of way, but sometimes they see things that the community comes up with. I don't know if that means explanations or, guesses toward the way something's going to go, and they sort of adopt it and go with it.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed he meant like in a, we'll throw it into Galnet kind of way, not because it would be ridiculous to develop a game that far in arrears is not exactly the right word, but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
But boy, but Tom, if you're listening, this will be much better as a tug of war. And then you can do, it gives you so much control. You can do whatever you want with that bar. Suddenly reinforcements arrive. We don't understand the Thargoids. We can't predict when it's going to happen. Anyway.
I call him Mr. Cools. Not Tom. I'm not on a first name basis with him, but Mr. Cools.
Mr. Cools.
Mr. Cools.
Please,
I'm
Mr. Cools was my father.
If you need ideas, try listening to our podcast. And I know he doesn't, so it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
You don't know. You don't know.
I've got electric sex pants.
Here's our best hope would actually be if we could
Obi-Wan's
get one of the
hope. Damn, best hope, not only hope. Gotcha.
Right. Our best hope would be if somebody from Lave who listens to the podcast repeats some of this, because I know Darren is usually in the chat when Lave is on. So that's probably our closest path right now to hit one of the devs.
So we got to be like,
so you're talking to Alec Turner specifically then?
I'm talking to Alec and Colin. I know Colin at least listens some.
Yeah.
I get you guys. We know Ben doesn't listen.
Man, Ben's busy masturbating.
I'm just throwing
or something.
shade. Whoa, I was throwing a little shade. It got a lot worse when I was done talking
because I want to see if he listens. Now Colin's going to go tell him. Then he's going to be able to.
Yeah.
Then Ben is going to be able to claim that he listens because Colin's going to have told him that Chig said you masturbate a lot, and then Ben's going to be like, "Well, I do," and nothing changes. It's kind of like game design.
We're at war. This is not the time for all this separation of ideas and name calling. We need to unify with
You're going to
unity.
say it's not time for all this masturbation.
I definitely thought that's what he was going to say.
That's where I thought he was going.
100%.
Well, I mean, it's war. You could die any second. And crank that shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Clear those pipes.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right.
We went off the
Every
rails
time
pretty
to be
quick.
your last time.
Yep. Okay. So I'm feeling compelled
Especially
to
when
move
you're
this
my age.
along.
Right.
So, Jesus. Is there anything else you guys want? That's about all I had as far as actual game content to talk about. Oh, actually, I'll give one more tip if we're done talking about this. I'll give one more tip because I've advanced my passenger rescuing skills a little bit here, and I want to pass something on.
Please.
Yes, do so.
Okay. For one thing, on the advice of some people, I decided to modify an anaconda and start doing this in an anaconda. Instead of the Python from before. There will be times when I'll need to land at a small port, depending on what system we're clearing out, I'm sure, and I'll switch back to the Python. But the anaconda can carry...
Python is the superior ship.
Oh, I don't...
Absolutely not.
I don't like flying this anaconda any more than you do, but it holds quite a bit more passengers. But it's actually a little more difficult in the sense that when you get interdicted and hyperdicted by Thargoids, it is a lot harder to get away. I've still never been caught or killed, but it's much more difficult because this ship is significantly slower. So just be boosting.
The trick
be boosting.
Turn and buzz back past them. If they don't have their lightning prepped, if you go past them, it takes them forever to turn around.
It's true. So Thargoids move at their top speed only when they're going in a straight line. If you force them to turn, they slow down quite a bit. You throw on silent running as you buzz by them, and or use heat sinks. You don't really even need to do that though. I've gotten pulled as soon as you can you're spinning as you get hyperdicted or interdicted or whatever. As soon as you can pick up the kind of the vector of where you need to be pointed, just start boosting as fast as you possibly can. The Thargoids take a second to kind of realize they should be chasing you. Even in the anaconda, it takes a basilisk to even risk getting caught, which is faster than the rest of them. So anyway, you'll be fine. It's much easier in the Python, but anyway. So the detail though, besides that you can use an anaconda, which obviously everybody knew, is I actually took off my smallest passenger cabin. So on both of these ships, there was like a size 3 or a size 4 that was just filling out one of the smaller slots. All your 6s, your 5s, anything bigger than that, passenger cabins only go up to 6, but all of those should be economy passenger cabins. and load up, because that's where the good missions are. But most of those missions, it's extremely rare, frankly, for them to be smaller than like 20 passengers. So you'll often have unused space at the end. And I realized that. And in the Python and the Anaconda had a size 4 cabin that only holds 8 passengers. But if I switch it for a cargo rack, it holds 16 cargo. And all of these stations also have, on the missions board, not the passenger lounge, there are missions for occupied escape pods, like injured personnel and stuff like that who are fleeing the station. Those are as few as 8, 7, 4, 3. I've even seen one passenger per mission. And then you can fill up that extra space that you aren't able to take something with 20 people because your remaining passenger seats are less than that, but you have room for individual people in escape pods. And that's working out really well too, because especially when we move into a new system like I did today, and like you've been seeing me doing if you're watching the video, the name of the game is building up your reputation with all of the factions of this system, so that they'll start giving better mission rewards a little quicker. And I go for materials all the time, except when I need to build up rep early on. Once I get to where all the bars are green, you're pretty much getting just materials all the time, and it's fantastic. But those little passenger missions will have 3 or 4 bars of reputation on them, maybe just for a single passenger, and that builds up that reputation very quickly. So, yeah, having a little size 4 cargo space along with all your larger passenger cabins is the way to go, and it works. Yay. So that's my tip.
That's a good tip. I quit listening when you said Anaconda.
Well, the same would go for the Python. There's a size 3 passenger cabin on my Python, and next time I hop into that, I'm going to be swapping that out for cargo, and I'll have, I guess a 3 will only have 8 cargo spaces, but that's going to serve the same function because I routinely have, 8 or 10 seats left over that I can't fill. So
I'll admit right now, I use the Anaconda for when I was doing evacuation missions back when I was, still trying to get my Fed rank up to buy a Corvette. I used an Anaconda for those evacuation missions just because you could put a bunch of passengers in it. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, large ships are, in a sense, they're a little bit of a waste because passenger cabins don't get bigger than size 6.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't know any better back then. It just seemed like a good idea. Grab the biggest ship, put as much in it as you could.
Word is a Corvette actually has the highest economy passenger seat capacity in the whole game. Just the way its internal slots are laid out.
When I was doing that, I was doing it so I could buy a Corvette.
Yeah. Type 7 also very, very good.
Yes.
Especially for the cost of the ship. Like if you're not like a super experienced commander, you don't have a ton of money or a ton of ships, the Type 7 is absolutely the way to go for rescue missions.
We should clip that soundbite.
Clip that soundbite
so Volt can play it whenever he wants.
He can clip it on his own.
Type 7 is absolutely the way to go.
Kid. Oh, you're going to take me that far out of context, huh?
Yeah,
that's fine. I should. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go in and catch that in isolation and put some big cavernous reverb on it for him. It'll be the Volt sound.
The Volt sound. I like it.
Anyway, that's it. Now we've just got fluff and community corner.
Fluff and community corner. Well, let's do. Let me go through Chig Chat then. Do Chig Chat sound.
Yeah. All right. Do a Chig Chat sound. Number 3.
Hey y'all, it's Chig Chat. Oh, we're gonna get our Chig Chat up off in here. I tell you what, boy, it's gonna be time. I tell you what, this Chig Chat. Where the cheese at?
Jesus Christ. I love that. It's so fucking bizarre. You got a purty mouth. There was a lot of people posting shit in Chig Chat this week. I mean, like, literally, you guys are
your posts were shit.
But, like, a ton of it isn't, like, even, like normal Chig Chat stuff. Somehow Chig Chat became, like, the Christmas channel. And, a bunch of Christmas stuff being posted, and like a topic came up this week.
Somehow it's December.
Well, no, but we've never put Christmas shit in Chig Chat. We've been doing this a long time now. And
well, okay. I think this is the first. Sorry to derail your whole thing.
Oh,
here,
derail
but
away, my man.
This is the first, like December, like holiday season stuff where Chig Chat has been this. Like, I think it was during this calendar year that you were like, post your accomplishments, post your dogs, stuff like that. Before that, it was like whatever. Didn't the cheese used to be part of Chig Chat?
I have no idea.
It's gone through some evolutions.
I don't remember what happened in past years. I just know I never saw Christmas trees during in Chig Chat. And it's good stuff. But no, actually, never mind. Fuck you, Lark Shadow. I remember he started this in general. Wanted people to post shit in Chig Chat, Christmas decorations. So it's Lark Shadow's fault. But I love you, buddy. Yeah, but fuck you. So a lot of good stuff. But even like a discussion started about like the best Christmas movie of all time. And most of us agree it's Die Hard. But
it's definitely Die Hard.
But they were throwing Elf and Christmas Vacation, and I threw Batter Santa, and then people put shit like Miracle on 30-something Street. I don't remember the name of that one.
Treasure Planet.
Yeah, I think Treasure Planet is the one you're trying to think of.
The best Christmas movie ever. And so, there's a lot of Christmas stuff, so come look at Christmas stuff. But, then we also, as people posting books, which you can come look at. I don't know what Moto King published with some weird, super greasy meat covered in cheese. I approve. Bork Bits. No, you know what? I'm not even going to get into people posting that they reached elite in plant gunning. Good for you, fuckers. But that's not worth mentioning right now.
Yeah, props to you. You got elite.
Berlin Falcons. Gus was the name of his co-pilot. I posted a joke. I post in Chig Chat. That's rare. I just usually emote towards stuff. Coyote Viejo. How do you pronounce that? Coyote Viejo. I don't know. His co-pilot is It's co-pilot, people. God damn it. Let's stick to the proper nomenclature. Lark Shadow posted Ember. I'm pretty sure we've seen Ember before in the past, so I don't know how that's back.
Yeah.
NL Hate with his tiny Christmas tree on his work desk. I posted my stuff. Now, my favorite post of the week was Alec Turner put a spoiler cover on a picture that he posted because he said, "Chaos on my commuter train this morning as London once again finds itself woefully unprepared for Arctic conditions here." And he posted a picture with, I don't know, this thin glaze of snow, and he's holding a tape measure.
You can see through it.
Yeah, you can see through it. And I was in London in 1999 when they got like 2.5 inches of snow and the entire country shut down. I thought I was in the apocalypse when I was over there. Didn't know if I was ever going to be able to fly home from 2.5 inches of snow. But this, I don't even know. He's got the wrong measurement tool to even tell us how much snow this is. The thickness of a snowflake of
He needs
snow.
a micrometer.
Yeah, a micrometer of snow.
He's got the tape measure with the cut hairs on the side.
I see that. That is, yeah, impressive. Alec, share us your other weather woes as you get them. That is impressive. I will show you pictures on Friday from up here. We're expecting 12 to 20 inches of snow between Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Friday. So we're going to have some fun. I'll share a picture with you at that point. And
I can show you
will.
pictures of snow from when we were in South Dakota.
Yeah, we get snow.
Yeah,
So-
I had snow up past my knees.
Yes. Good stuff. Good memes following that, especially, tracks too. Good stuff. And then the last one
What
of the
did I
day
do?
week is now we rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
Good memeing.
Yeah.
Good memeing.
Anytime there's an unimpressive weather disaster, nothing tops when. And I think just after me, somebody's sharing the one with like the lawn chair that's tipped over.
Never forget.
That was originally from when there was an earthquake in Connecticut. They never have earthquakes, but there was an earthquake in Connecticut. It was just like a magnitude 1. It was like most people didn't realize there was an earthquake. It was that kind of earthquake.
Some people,
but it made the news because it's so unusual to happen in that part of the country. And that was the thing that I saw that day.
Never forget.
We will rebuild.
Yeah, pretty much. A dump truck drove by and they're like, oh.
Wasn't there a few years ago? Wasn't there somewhat big? It was like supposed to be like this big storm comes somewhere, and then it ended up being like really mild, and people made memes on video about it. With like there's like a lawn chair blew over, or stuff like that.
Overreaction.
That's dangerous too, because then the next one comes around and it isn't bullshit, and everybody's like, bah!
Is that like a whole Chicken
like
Little
deaths.
thing? What the fuck? I'm so confused. And then the last one is Commander Obl1v1ous, our latest fleet carrier owner. Posted a picture of not his fleet carrier, but his dog named Polo. So good job, everybody. I love this
I
stuff.
thought you were about to say his
And,
dog was named Fleet Carrier.
the next week, I want you all coming in because it was in a Chig Chat. Let's actually get in a real debate over the best Christmas movie of all time. And if it's not Die Hard, you're wrong. But I want to see some Christmas movie.
Let's see how many people are wrong.
Exactly. I just want to see how many of you are just flat wrong. But you might convince me. There's some Christmas movies that maybe I haven't seen.
There's a pretty good Christmas movie about to come out in a couple of days. You know, The Mean One. Have you heard of it? Hopefully, it's as bad as the Terrifier was.
Don't know where you're going.
Is this real? I thought he was going to do I thought he was going to do the Treasure Planet again.
No, oh yeah, I mean that's a pretty good Christmas movie too. Anyways, but you know. We'll see just how gruesome this Mean One. I don't know. It's like a Grinch movie, but it's like he's killing the fuck out of people instead.
Yeah,
of
I don't know
being
what
your normal
he's talking
Grinch.
about, guys.
Oh wow.
What are you talking about?
These are
it up,
films
man.
that do not cross our
Grinch
awareness.
film?
Stubbs.
Well, Grinch murdering.
Just look up
people
The
film?
Mean One, bro. Yeah, he killed
The Mean One is the name of the movie.
Oh,
Yes.
is
It's
Jim
not the
Carrey in this
Mean
one
Grinch.
too?
It's the Mean One.
The Mean One, 2022 film. In a sleepy
I'm
mountain
gonna
town,
watch it.
Cindy has her parents murdered and her Christmas stolen by a bloodthirsty green figure in a red Santa suit.
That's the fucking Grinch.
Now they don't call him the Grinch.
I know
but
because
it's
he's the Mean
very
One.
obvious
They don't know the
what
IP.
it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Grinch slaughtered Christmas.
It's
Oh
Tagline.
my god.
It's a Christmas slasher film.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a
didn't
movie
know I
I'm not going to
needed
watch.
this.
So I don't
Is
watch.
this your
I don't watch
nomination
horror
for the
movies.
best Christmas film of all time?
I don't think
I
he's
haven't
seen it yet. It
so I
hasn't
don't
come
know.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he'll
I'm
definitely
waiting
put
for
it up
to
on the
release.
list.
Even Dubs
it'll
isn't
be
going to
on there.
nominate it before he's seen it.
Oh, Gremlins.
I'm not-
That's a Christmas movie.
Oh, I guess it was. Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, what's your favorite Christmas horror movie? The Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that?
Yeah.
That's
Was
not
Nightmare
horror?
Before
movie.
Christmas.
I don't know that's a horror
It's a-
movie.
That's a
It's
horror
a Halloween movie.
No, it's a horror. It's that on this one I clicked on. It was like, "What's your favorite Christmas horror movie?" It's like Krampus,
And that was someone's
Gremlins,
answer?
Black Christmas, Anna and the Apocalypse, which I've never heard of, and The Nightmare Before Christmas is in this poll of Christmas horror movies. It's not
Did
a
that
horror
movie come out in Christmas season or in Halloween season?
I think anytime after July is technically Christmas season, isn't it? These days,
I loathe you.
Did it come out in October?
I think it. I don't know. All right,
Come
now
on,
we gotta
movie
vote.
people. For God's sake.
Nightmare the good
Well, apparently
podcasting.
according to Rotten Tomatoes, the Mean One came out 4 days ago, and it's not doing great on the Rotten Tomato meter.
Really?
Well,
That's so
tomatometer.
surprising to me.
Shocked.
So the audience score is double the critic score, but I mean it's still
Still abysmal, huh?
Nightmare
it's still
Before
Critics are
pretty
pretty
bad.
fucking stupid.
Official wide release date was October 29th, 1993.
There you go. It's a
Yeah.
Halloween movie, not a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
It's also older than my wife.
It's also not a horror movie.
Oh, I mean, I don't. Here's a hot take. I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas.
That is a
Oh,
hot take.
Jesus. Let's move on to Community
Move on.
Corner.
All right, Community Corner. Go.
All right. Once again, Community Corner, we're doing the support the special effect charity drive, the Thargoid Flee from Soul. If you haven't watched the video and heard their song yet, then do yourself a favor, ? And do that to yourself. The links are in the show notes. Please do, if you can, give to support Special Effect and all the fine D-list Elite Dangerous celebrities who produce this video.
No, just
it's
notice
fantastic.
none of us could even make the D list.
Well, I think
no, they did. They did not ask me to participate.
that is not surprising that we are not even made the D list. So
I mean, we don't E list. We're probably the F list.
I don't even know. I don't
Definitely
even.
the F list.
I don't know if we're in the alphabet, to be honest.
All right.
True.
That's all I've got going on for Community Corner. You know what? It's not in the notes, but if you're not following Alec Turner's YouTube channel, you're missing some wild fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy climbed a flaming tower and he kept getting up to a ledge, and I was like, I don't know how he did that. Well, that was amazing. Oh God, he's going higher.
Yeah.
In an SUV
It was ridiculous.
or on foot?
Yes.
Alec Turner is a
he
true
can just
treasure.
walk up the side. That guy can walk up the side of a building in an SRV. Like, it doesn't even matter to him that that's not flat and gravity's the other way. Anyway, you gotta see it. There's a new one just came out like today or yesterday or something too. Ugh. Anyway, that guy. So anyway,
He's
do
the
yourself a favor,
Spider-Man
get
of
that.
Elite Dangerous.
He is. He is. Okay, so cheese and movies.
Cheese and movies. All right. Well, the cheese is sharp cheddar this week. It's always a great snack to have with crackers and maybe some sausage. I know it's something that we typically have around this time of year for stuff like that when we do our snack trays. So that's why I went with sharp cheddar. Let's go get some sharp cheddar. It's really good. It's the best kind of cheddar.
I've said this
It
on the
is.
show before. When I was a kid, I always thought that sharp cheddar was like the fancy cheddar. You know, it was like,
Is it not?
I guess it's just old.
It's
with
definitely
more,
not-
It's more. It's just aged a little bit more, so more moisture's
Well,
removed, and
that's-
you get a stronger.
That's how
flavor
you
to
get
it.
things fancier.
When they get old, I'm fancy as
Yeah.
fuck. Then
Yeah, I'm fancier every day.
fancier every day.
What's the movies?
We have The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey
Fucking
for
gross.
10 years ago
Plus,
on the 11th.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
Yeah,
It's too
not as
bad
good
they
as-
made that into 3 movies.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I Am Legend
It wasn't too
15
bad.
years ago.
Oh,
On
I
the
liked
14th?
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Also
original
had a
Charlton
dog in
Heston
it,
was pretty
and
good.
It did have a
Dogs
dog.
just they cut me down. Movies with dogs in them.
The book was.
I almost can't even talk about it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
I wish Data was here. Star Trek Nemesis 20 years ago,
Yeah. Huh.
December 13th.
Possibly.
He
the
died
worst
in
Star
that
Trek
one.
movie ever.
He did.
Well, kind of, unless you watch Picard. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't
25
watch Picard, so he's
Never
still
mind.
dead to me.
Never mind.
25 years ago, Scream 2 was released on today.
Wow.
gross.
This is a terrible movie.
Well, I mean, it's the end of the year. The end of the year
means-
doesn't have a whole lot of great stuff in it. It's mainly the summers when you get the really good stuff.
That
Muppet
means
30
that some years ago, somebody said to themselves, "What do you think if we did like a movie that's almost as good as Scream?"
Now, here's one for the Chig chat I'm going to mention from 30 years ago in December 11th. So even I know it was 30 years ago yesterday. The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
I
Okay,
love the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Approved.
fair
Stamp
for
of
that to
approval.
be on the list for sure.
Yes.
35 years ago, Empire of the Sun. I like that movie, but I don't know if anybody else even saw it.
I don't remember. I think it was pretty good. Wasn't that?
It was pretty good. Like it's worth watching. I don't know that it's worth a repeat watching.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I saw it.
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal was.
Oh.
That's not yet. We're not ready for that one yet. That's
Oh.
40 years ago, but we're
That's
not
a
up
good
there
one,
yet.
though. That's a good one.
There was a
Yeah.
there was a remake
Recently
like
on
an
Netflix,
episodic
a series,
show.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, there was-
I watched some of that. It was
I don't even know
kind of
that-
cool.
I don't even know if it
My
was a
kid was a
remake.
little
That was Jim
little
Henson,
young
wasn't
for
it?
it, so I probably
Yeah, it
well,
was.
I mean his company.
Yeah.
You mean Google?
Do they
So what?
own?
I have no
Henson
idea.
now?
I'm talking about
Don't
Google
say-
existing
don't say shit.
40 years
Disney.
ago.
Disney owns the Jim Henson Company.
Of course they do. They own everything. They own my soul.
They do.
Only the bad parts, Chig.
But that's the movies for this.
There's
week.
good parts.
I didn't say that.
I know. Didn't mean to put words in your mouth. I
I mean, there's
apologize.
I mean, there's definitely no good parts over here, so I get you.
Is that it?
So yeah, I just said that's all the movies this week.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you because of how much we were interrupting you.
But that's okay. I mean,
This is-
I interrupt just as much, so I mean, I can't judge you.
This is a raucous one, guys.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I don't know that this has been one of our better shows.
This is the non-ghetto week, so I'm kind of
Wait,
confused.
are you saying it was, or that you don't know if it was?
I said I don't know that this has been one of our better shows.
Yeah.
Quit
Like you
judging
said,
us.
they can't all be winners.
Disappointed!
The pre-show definitely could have been included.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who's
I don't even know if
scoping
Dubs
over
is
the
still
show
here.
notes, anyone who's scoping over the
I
notes
am.
carefully might find some extra content in there that we didn't mention in the show. Other than that, that's it. Nothing left but to thank my intrepid panel of commanders, Chig, Dubs, Hate, and Teflon, and get well soon, Nurgle, and good luck
let me
with
mention one thing.
child-free Data.
Yeah,
What?
good job, Data. Way to impregnate a woman and have her bear child.
And stay alive long enough and still know us when it happened.
Yes. I was just going to say, we're getting towards the end of the year here. I just realized that we got Ghetto Week next week where I host and you're doing your other podcast. And then the week after that, it'll be the last show of the year with most of us all available to be on it because then we're into the new year. So there's only like...
Oh, is that the 26th?
Yeah.
You guys feeling like you want to do a podcast on the 26th?
Yeah.
Let's have an on-air production meeting. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
thinking,
yeah, I could do that.
no, we could do a year in review. Talk about how
Yeah,
the year's been.
because we do have we have a bunch of stats from Spotify, and I know Chig keeps
good.
track
Yeah,
of a bunch of things.
Oh, I've got a
I have
bunch
been
of stats.
sitting on that because I was going to do it later, closer to the end of the year. But
We'll do
we can
year in
call-
review on the 26th.
We could call
Okay.
it the Loose Screws Holiday End of the Year Hangover Special.
That's way too wordy. Let's go with
Hangover Aganza.
That would be on the first of the year. Second of the year.
We'll brainstorm it.
It depends when you celebrate, right?
Well, yeah, but
All right.
What if
Well,
I
so
celebrate
everybody plan on that. So Ghetto Week, apparently.
next week.
I didn't make that up. So anyway, Ghetto Week next week, and then we'll do a year in review on the 26th.
Yeah, I got a bunch of cool stats. I've kind of
All right.
reorganized my spreadsheet, and there's some cool stuff that we can talk about over the course of this show, and kind of a milestone on that week too. None of you will be
Cool.
able to figure out what that is. It's going to be kind of cool.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. If you like the show, you know what to do.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on.
If you like this show, please rate and review on your podcast app, which helps people find the show. Join us on Discord at discord.io/loosescrews and check out the merch store at loosescrewsed.com for mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more.
Onesies.
And now you can support us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/loosescrewsed. Thank you for listening. Back to you, Trax and Chig, in the studio.
That reminded me of one more thing I wanted to include. I don't always mention this, but yes, super big thanks to the Patreon supporters. They help us pay for the recording stuff we need, and we get more money than we need from that. We're keeping that in the community, and we'll be able to do special things with it. It's starting to pile up to the point where we could actually do some kind of giveaway or something like that. So we'll think of something cool to do for the community. But we got a supporter pledge through Anchor, which is our podcast distributor. And there's complicated things to actually set that up and be able to have the Loose Screws organization receive the money. And I couldn't really get it going. I'd rather keep it simple with everything going through Patreon. So I actually switched off that feature. I did not know that was turned on. So thank you to the person who sent that. But I have turned it off. And if you want to support the show, you want to continue supporting the show, please go over to Patreon, because that's where we actually have it set up so that it'll work for us. And I apologize for not realizing that was switched on before. I actually didn't even know Anchor could do that until they sent us an email. You have a supporter. Oh man, I was like, oh,
they gave us $1 million.
I basically was like, maybe I can just loop it into the same thing, and I tried and it didn't work, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn that off so I don't have like more things to kind of manage and stuff like that. I'm trying to be really like simple and kind of on the up and up about it, because as far as I know, I'm the only one kind of managing that all, and I really don't like the idea that people don't know what I'm doing and there's money coming from different places and it all doesn't belong to me. So I want to just kind of keep it all in one place and keep it public. So anyway, thank you all very much for your support. Thanks for listening. That's about it.
All right, bye.
See you next week.
Yeah, let's go kill
Get out
some
of here.
bugs.
Let's go away. All right,
Do
good
it for the war.
Or rescue
the
people.
horde. Wait, wrong game.
That's not what I thought you said.